Hello there, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here with a really quick video about independent and dependent variables. Now, I'm going to let you try to figure out most of these on your own, but let me give a little re-explanation for you. The independent variable causes a change in the dependent variable. Okay, dependent means it depends, it relies on something else happening. So when we make an input-output table, okay, we might have x and y, right? Now, the value of y in an equation like y equals x squared, a quadratic equation, or maybe y equals the absolute value of x plus 2, the value of y depends on what you input for x. X is your input, right? And so for the first equation, y equals x squared, if I put 2 in, I get 4 out. But if I put 3 in, I get 9 out. See how it changed? So x is your independent variable, y is your dependent variable. And remember, the independent variable causes the dependent variable to change. So I'm going to do this first one for you, and then I'm going to show you several where you can try to figure them out on your own. So it says, consider the miles you drive in a given amount of time. Okay, well, you have two variables. You have the miles and you have the amount of time. Now, ask yourself, which one causes the change? Are you going more miles? Going more miles, does that force the time to increase or decrease? Or does the amount of time allow you to travel more miles? Okay? Well, in this case, time is the independent variable. It's independent. The miles you drive depends on how long you're driving. Of course, there's other factors, speed, but let's just assume your speed stays the same. So if you're going 30 miles per hour and you drive for 1 hour, you go 30 miles. If you drive for 2 hours, you'll go 60 miles. Okay? So miles is your dependent variable. Now, just a general rule here in Algebra 1, most of the time you run into time, it's going to be your independent variable. It causes the change. There was a problem on the quiz about a tree growing. Well, trees grow more over time. The tree growing doesn't force time to go forward. Time's already going forward, all right? And that's what allows the tree to grow as time advances. So try these. I'll show them all to you. You can pause the video as you need to, and then I'll go back and I'll give you which ones are independent and which ones are dependent. Okay, so consider how much it costs to buy multiple iPads. Consider your performance on a test compared to the number of homework assignments completed. Consider the size of a paycheck compared to the number of hours an employee works. Okay, so if you need to pause any of them, go right ahead. I'm getting ready to tell you the answers, so if you haven't figured them out on your own or attempted them on your own, please pause the video now and do so. Okay, so here come my solutions. My two variables are the cost, the money I'm going to spend, and the number of iPads, right? Well, doesn't it make sense that if I buy one iPad, I spend a certain amount of money? If I buy 10 iPads, that cost, that amount I have to spend goes up, right? So that means the number of iPads is the independent variable. I'm going to abbreviate it, and the cost is the dependent variable. How much you have to pay depends on how many you purchase, right? You don't hand the clerk $500 and say, give me all the iPads, right? You instead say, I need 5 iPads, and then the clerk tells you how much you have to pay. Okay. Consider your performance on a test compared to the number of homework assignments. So we're talking about the test score, the performance on the test. That's one variable. And the other variable is the homework assignments. Now, this is a general statement. It's not 100% true because there are some kids in some situations with the materials not challenging enough where they don't do the homework and they still do very well. But generally speaking, isn't it true that doing more of your homework will allow you to perform better on the test, okay, compared to when you don't do any homework? You know, Jay did 0 homework assignments and he got this low grade. Sally did all the homework assignments, all 15 of them for the unit, and her grade was much higher. That's not a coincidence, okay? So the homework assignments is the independent variable, and the performance on the test is the dependent variable. It was forced to change by the number of assignments completed. Okay, last one. Consider the size of a paycheck compared to the number of hours an employee works. Well, the store, the workplace you work for, doesn't give you a check and say, now you have to work this many hours. They tell you they'll pay you a certain amount per hour, maybe $9 per hour. So the hours worked, or the time, is your independent variable. The more hours you work, the more your paycheck, the size of your paycheck goes up. So the size of your paycheck is the dependent variable. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why it jumped like that. Wow, it just doesn't really like that spot of the graph. That's really crazy. That's supposed to be a D there. Okay, so hopefully this helps. By the way, if I didn't mention it before, time is usually your independent variable. I hope this really helps you. That'll be it for the video. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.